Here with me are two JBL Go 4 speakers, which are pretty good for their size. One of these is actually the fake one, and the other is original. Comment down in the comment section which one you think is the original one and which one you think is the fake one. And don't change your mind after you've watched the full video. I kid you not, the fake one costs only $7. In this video, we'll open it up and see how can this even be possible. Okay, let's go over to the workbench and start with measuring. Just by looking at the two speakers, we can notice that the blue one is slightly bigger than the black one. This is evident even when we turn the speakers to the side. The blue speaker measures 104.2 by 76.5 and 47.56 millimeters. The black one measures 90.8, 73.2 and 40.6 millimeters. When we turn the speakers to the right side, we see an embossed Go 4 logo and a USB-C port. Looking at the lanyard on the black speaker, we see the caution sign faces towards the USB-C port, but on the blue speaker, it faces towards the tactile keys. The USB-C also looks completely water sealed on the black speaker, while on the blue speaker, it has gaps all around. Rubbing on the blue speaker's JBL logo, you can feel it is smooth and made out of some synthetic die-cut fabric. Almost gives a cheap type of feeling. On the black one, it is made out of silicone material, which feels premium when touched. Both speakers are covered with a tightly woven ballistic mesh-like fabric that is treated with a hydrophobic coating. This coating prevents water ingress. On the black speaker, the pattern of the fabric runs horizontally and vertically, while on the blue speaker, it runs diagonally. This is more obvious when we see the back side of the speakers. On the black speaker, we see it also has silicone grip tabs. These are used to prevent the vibration from the speaker to move the device while playing sound. They also utilize the silicone grip tabs for all the certification markings. I wonder what technique they use to print this. On the back face of the blue speaker, it's missing the two silicone grip tabs. On this bottom side, the material on the blue speaker has zero grip. It's simply just for looks, no intended function. It's hard plastic material. On the black speaker, you can feel the grip as you rub around the device, immediately feeling the premium quality and finish of the silicone surface. It looks to have an anti-static coating and a soft touch, and it wraps around the edges of the speaker. On the left side of the speakers, we see the black one has a very sleek LED indicator which looks overmolded in the silicone. An Auracast button which when pressed allows you to link other JBL Auracast enabled speakers for synchronized stereo and sound. In the middle, we have a dedicated Bluetooth pairing button, and on the top, the power button. The blue one seems to have more functions. We have the power button, an Auracast button, USB and TF slots for you to be able to play your music from your memory cards and USB flash drives. In the Bluetooth settings, the blue one shows up as Go 4 and the black one shows up as JBL Go 4. Let's play some music and switch between the two for comparison.
My life's a void when I look at my past. It's part of the reason why I can't explain. I'm a broken human soul. My life's a void when I look at my past. It's part of the reason why I can't explain. I'm a broken human soul. I'm a broken human soul. You're the kind that needs no light to get to places. The kind of situations I find myself in trapped. That needs no light to get to places. The kind of situations I find myself in trapped. And I'm closed shores, I open doors to test some goals. My flow of life running the good course to the last boss. It's the call of that covers all souls with goals for this cause. Christ Lord's bringing back all lost souls with gods. I'm not Muslim, but I will meet my maker. Not the best, but I know he better. The devil will never take you, never shake you, never make you, never break for what you be, man. Only God knows, smell that, don't know it's mystery. The originals think it's history. She knew what she used to be to.
Okay, that's enough with the audio test. I hope you guys can clearly see which one sounds better between the two. Based on the exterior materials used, we can see that the black one looks and feels like a high-end product. And the blue one, even though it looks okay, it just feels cheap to the touch. Opening the speaker is quite easy. We first pry the plastic cover up and it easily comes off. You don't have to push it out of the lanyard, but I did it so that I can see all the individual parts. This plastic part is made of two different pieces, the buttons and the housing. These are injection molded. A minimum of 2 different molds would be needed unless they made 2 types of cavities in one mold. Looking closely on the inside, we have 2 standoffs used for alignment of the buttons and 8 other standoff pins for fastening and locking the piece in place. Removing this plastic exposes the button PCBA on the top. If we have a close look at the PCBA, we can easily identify it to be an ADC button ladder, typical for low budget product, but also another execution of smart engineering. The bottom plastic opens in the same way. It has a small piece of silicone that covers the power button, aura button, and USB TF slots. These two parts require another set of molds, one for the silicone and the other for the ABS plastic. Carefully examining plastic parts, they do seem to have an anti-static coating. I confirmed this by scratching and also comparing the internal and external finishing. I have to mention this, they definitely use some smart engineering on these plastic parts because they actually close well, especially that we didn't see any glue applied. There are no screws visible on the side, which can only mean one thing: remove the fabric. Easily comes off without stretching or ripping apart. They definitely use some good quality fabric. After removing the fabric, we can see the openings for the speaker driver. The exposed ABS housing looks very cheap, but robust enough for this use case. It doesn't need to look beautiful because it's covered by the expensive fabric anyway. After the fabric is removed, we can see there are 4 screws on the back side. We remove the 4 screws. Once the 4 screws are out, we're in. This ABS plastic will be another part that requires a mold. There's a foam on the inside of the plastic. Based on the groove on it and its position, this is being used to secure the battery in place. No glue, I guess, just smart, clean engineering. A separate USB-C PCBA board. This is only for charging, no data transfer, as it only has 2 wires running from the USB-C to the main board. 14500 battery, it's 500 milliamp hour, 3.7 volts, 1.85 watts, made in September 2025. Not so long, I guess, based on the time of making this video. Looks like it comes from a company based in Shenzhen. The HZH resembles Shenzhen Hengzhongheng New Energy Company. It doesn't seem to have any NTC line for thermal detection, only 2 wires running directly to the PCBA. We will assume that the temperature is being managed by the thermistor and the power IC on the main board. Let's power off and remove the battery. Surprisingly enough, the speaker driver has no glue. I'm guessing it is not expected to produce any vibrations. They did include a small O-ring foam that is sandwiched between the speaker and the front housing. See, this is a 4 amp 5 watt driver. This is a full range dynamic driver capable of playing low end and mid range audio. From the tests we did, I think this should be classified as a mid-range and high-range audio output driver, but I'm guessing the design of the housing can also affect the delivery of the sound. Now we can remove the USB port, which is only being held down with 1 screw. This screw is the same size as the screws that were holding down the main housing, so the BOM has 5 screws, which are exactly the same size. Wonderful. Main PCBA, we can see few components on this side: a capacitor, a resistor, 2 buttons, USB port, and 2 pin connectors. We can directly remove the main board and the daughter board as they have no screws holding them in place. Just some magical engineering. We will assume this is the top layer of the PCB and the other side was the bottom layer. The top layer, at the bottom, we have the 4054H power IC, responsible for the charge-discharge levels of the battery. Right on top of it, we have the audio amplifier. And at the top of the amplifier, we have the MCU or SoC, which is like the brains of this device. It has a 32-bit RISC core for system logic. It has integrated radio for wireless audio data, and it has hardware decoding for MP3, WAV, and WMA. It has interface for SD card and USB flash drives. It has ADC, PWM for buttons, LEDs, and battery sensing. It may look small and cheap, but capable of performing engineering magic. On the top right corner of the SoC, we have a 24 MHz crystal which plays an important role of maintaining frequency, especially for Bluetooth connection and audio playback. Think of it as the timekeeper, making sure everything happens in time and on the correct channel. Right on top of the crystal, we have the memory card slot, and sitting all the way at the top of this PCBA is an integrated Bluetooth antenna. We have the button PCBA, which is soldered to the main PCBA just by 2 lines. It is made up of 3 button switches and 3 resistors. We will not be highlighting the small components like resistors, capacitors, diodes, and transistors on this side of the board. but only the major cost-driving components. Based on these major components, we can tally the estimated BOM cost for this product. By now, it should be obvious that the blue speaker is the fake one. Based on what we found inside, it seems possible for this to be worth $7. Of course, if you include shipping costs, it's probably going to end up being around $20. At a glance, they look similar, but when analyzed, we found the shapes are also different. One looks like a carefully carved luxury bar of soap, the black one, and the other looks like an old bar of soap, made by hand, the blue one. You can design a product, make prototypes, do trial production, but taking it to market requires certification. Don't wait to do compliance when the product is ready to go for mass production. Compliance has stopped many ideas that seemed good on paper, worked well when prototyped, but failed during certification. Do the necessary research relating to compliance and certification of the product you're making, relating to the region you plan to sell it in. I hope this video has brought value to you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on our next adventure.